I'm gonna steal this graphic straight off of this hoodie I have.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna get straight to business. I have operated a few what you might call clothing brands over the years, but when it comes to printing graphics, I always felt like there was this huge barrier to entry to screen printing. Like how to get the screens, all the equipment, curing the print. It looks like it's super involved, but it's actually so simple. So back in the day, I did all of my graphics by heat press because screen printing looked so intimidating. And it was actually more expensive and lower quality to do it that way. So since I've already done all the work, I want to lay out the step-by-step guide for the less than $100 full screen print setup. So we're gonna start from the absolute beginning. Let's assume you don't have a graphic and assume you're a horrible designer. So I'm gonna steal this graphic straight off of this hoodie I have. It has this really sick weightlifter graphic, but let's just say you don't even own the hoodie, right? I'm gonna head over to Depop and I found the listing. I'm just gonna screenshot the hoodie graphic and then I'm gonna drag it straight into Photoshop. All right, so the easiest way to go about this is just to use something called a threshold adjustment layer. It basically just turns it into a black and white image and you can adjust the amount that it works. So you just kind of play around with it. The barbell is way darker, so I kind of want to play with it on its own. So I'm gonna copy and paste it. I'm gonna do the threshold on the guy first. So that looks pretty good to me. So I'm gonna take this threshold and I'm going to select both of these and convert to a smart object, add another layer, which is a threshold, and that's gonna go over the barbell. Yeah. And then I'm also gonna erase this hoodie string. All right, I'm feeling that. We're gonna convert all of this to a smart object. You're gonna come in here and find one called the background eraser tool, and bam, your background's gone. You're gonna right click on your graphic and hit blending options. Go in here, hit color overlay. Graphics looking good. You're gonna go to file, you're gonna hit export, and then quick export as PNG. Now we're gonna open up Illustrator. You select it, go to image trace. I think SketchArt is gonna look the best. So this just smooths everything out and makes it a little more palatable. We got a high resolution image, it looks like. So I'm gonna export this once again as a PNG. We're gonna come over to this website called Arena Prints and you can order screens online right here. I emailed them and tried to get them to sponsor the video and they never hit me back. So if you end up ordering anything from here, just let them know Connor sent you. They won't know what that means, but let them know anyway. All right, so you have some options. Printing with white ink, then I'm doing water-based ink. I would highly recommend. We're gonna be using manual print, and then my artwork. The artwork is all full colors. Like I said, we took out all the halftones and gradients with that threshold effect. This is the resolution. I'm just gonna go with the highest one, and if we need a lower one, they will direct us. And then you just choose your file. Then you need to put your print size. So this one was 9 inches by 8 inches. Add it to cart. I believe after like shipping and everything, it was around 80 bucks. So keep that in mind. But now you got your screen ordered, you're ready to go. It's time for the next step.
Yeah.
It actually didn't just come in. I got this a couple of months ago. But just imagine it's a week later, and after all of your hard designing work, this bad boy comes in. Right, here's everything you need. You got your screen, of course, and then we're gonna cut every corner. And so I'm gonna use this like shower squeegee instead of a screen printing squeegee, because you can. And then I'm gonna use this Speedball water-based ink, and I have some old pieces of fabric. I have 3 of them. I'll explain why in a minute, but I'm gonna print the graphic on all of them. So you just wanna line up the screen, and it's kind of hard to see where the graphic is, but you can see it in real life. And then you're just gonna put like a line of ink all the way across the graphic. And if you have a big graphic, you're gonna want a wider squeegee so you can hit the whole thing at once. This one is less than the width of my squeegee, so it's fine. And then I'm just gonna do it once and then go back over it. Once you do that, you just lift it straight off. There's your screen print. So I ended up doing this 3 times because I want to make 3 samples. In the next part, we're gonna be curing the screen print, and I just wanted to test 3 different ways that you could do that. So let's go to the next one. So as soon as you're done printing, you're gonna wanna wash out the screen. The sooner the better. So the way I do it is I just kind of like put some water in it and I squeegee it through the graphic until all of the ink is gone. Technically, you're not supposed to wash it out with water, but so far it's been working fine. Like I said, we're cutting all the corners, and you just wanna make sure there is absolutely no ink in that graphic. After I do that, I rinse it off with like a hose or a shower or something. Once you do that, you just make sure there is still no ink in any of those graphics. And it looks pretty good. So now on to curing the print. So I made the 3 samples so we can try 3 different ways of curing it. This is just adding heat to make sure that that ink is dry and won't wash out. What I usually use is this heat press, but everyone doesn't have one of these obviously, and we're trying to cut these corners. So I'm gonna try out a hair dryer first of all, and I'm just gonna hair dry this for like 3 minutes, see what happens with that. And then for sample 2, I'm going to just throw that in the normal dryer, and I did a time dry for like 40 minutes, and we'll see what happens with that one. And then for sample 3, I just left this as like a control. I didn't do anything to this one, but I left all 3 out overnight just to make sure they were all dry. Now I'm gonna go take them and throw them in the wash. And once they come out, we'll compare and see which was the best method. The results are in, and we have a clear winner. The hairdryer did not do very well, whereas the dryer really cured that print. It does not look any different really. And then the no curing was about the same as the hairdryer. The dryer is actually probably the best method, especially if you're screen printing any kind of bulk, because you can do like a whole load at once if you wanted to. Yeah, pretty straightforward. You don't need a heat gun, you don't need a heat press. Just throw that joint in the dryer.